Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about this new goal challenge that I'm doing called 101 Goals in 1001 Days. Now, this is not a new challenge to me. I've actually done it 2 times before in the past. I've never actually finished all 101 goals, but I've gotten up to anywhere around 60 and 70 goals complete, which I say is still pretty good. So what I wanted to do was kind of explain the way that I set up the goals in my collection bullet journal, as well as my thoughts on how it's going to kind of go. So first up, let me go ahead and open up to my spread. So what I did is I decided that I wanted to have my goals in my collection bullet journal because it is going to be such a long range of time that I will be working on them. I didn't want to have to rewrite them frequently in my bullet journal. Now, the way that I've always done 101 goals in 1001 days is I think about different categories in my life and I work on filling in different goals in those categories. So what I actually did before I even sat down and did anything in my bullet journal is I went through all of my open brain dumps. For example, For example, I had this mega brain dump for things I wanted to work on this summer, my summer projects brain dump, and I had various other brain dumps kind of like this. So what I did is I went through any of my open tasks that I had in any of my current brain dumps, because also I'm going to be moving into a new bullet journal and I need to migrate those. I wrote them down on scratch pieces of paper and I kind of gave myself different categories. So I kind of made categories and then filled in to see where the tasks would fall. Then once I had gotten everything out of here, I went back and I looked at I looked at the categories that I had and I looked at how many tasks I had in each and I counted them up and I kind of played around with adding things or renaming things, reworking things until I had 101 goals. So what I did then was I wanted to give myself an intro page because this is going to be such a huge project. I wanted to have like a nice big intro page for it. So I just did a quick labeling, a quick header on here, and I actually did shade with my copper Faber-Castell. And I left myself room to add a start date and an end date. And then I went through and I kind of ordered the different sections in kind of a logical way for my brain. Honestly, I don't even know how I did it. Just that was the way it made sense in my brain. And I went ahead and I filled in each section. So what I've done is I lettered the name of the section at the top of each page. I did 1 page per section. I went ahead and I did all of my goals. So I skipped a line here so that I can mark it as completed, and I skipped a line between each one so that I can write in the date or any notes that I need to. And I numbered them starting at 1 in each section. I have done it previously where I would number from 1 down to 101 and I would just have the sections in between there, but this made more sense for me to go through each one to start fresh, renumbering at each section. So the top is always going to be 1 on every single page. Sorry, that was really confusing. So I also gave myself a status bar at the bottom, and this was actually inspired by my friend Haley of Haley Journals. She is also doing a 101 in 1001, and she has like a bar on the side of hers that she kind of fills in as she completes things. And so I sort of took that, but I did it for each section. So this one, for example, I have 10 goals in this section. So I have 10 boxes down here. I have 10 goals here, 10 boxes here, etc. So this way, as I'm filling in here, I also have a very easily seen visual way of seeing how far I am in each section. I thought that would be nice because a lot of times I mark them on here, but then I can't really tell exactly how I'm doing. So I thought it would be nice to see kind of a percentage. So my sections are home, money, tech, travel, classes, research, language, sunshine and stationery, creative, and read. So these were kind of arbitrary sections to a certain extent because, for example, things that I have in Sunshine and Stationery could very easily have gone into tech. Things that I've got in research could very easily have gone into classes or travel. It was just kind of a way for me to break down goals. And if I decided that one goal went in one section, I tried to keep anything similar in that section so that it would be easier for me to see. So what I've also got at the end, I left a blank page so that I can do a review. Now, I'm not sure how I want to do this, which is why this is blank, but I wanted to have some kind of a review space as I go through. Now, whether I do this at the halfway point, so at 500 days, or whether I do this at the beginning of each calendar year, I'm not sure, but I wanted to leave myself a space so that I could go through and kind of reflect on how the challenge was actually going. Now, for those of you who have watched some of my other collection bullet journal videos, you know that I am also doing a 52 goals in 2017. So 52 goals in 52 weeks. And we are currently in the end of August. I believe it's week 34 out of 52. And I've done 26 of my goals. So I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. And you might be able to tell I have actually redone some of my goals. I like to do a review sort of in the middle of the year to see if there are any goals that are just no longer relevant, because why do things that I don't actually need or want to do anymore? But by and large, the goals that I decided on in December of last year have stayed pretty much the same. Now, what I have not yet decided is whether or not I'm going to finish out this goal challenge before I start the 101 and 1001. However, I think it is much more likely that I'm going to start the 101 and 1001 in September. I want to wait for the beginning of a month because it's just easier for me to do my day calculations. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this in September, which means that for 2018, I am not going to do a new goal challenge. This is going to be my goal challenge for at least 2018, probably 2019. It depends how good I am about getting my goals finished. Now, what I will do is I will keep working on some of the goals my unfinished goals in this challenge. But I did have some overlap because I was realizing that I was getting kind of near the end and I had other things that I wanted to work on. So I took some of the big ones from here and they actually have made a cameo in my new goal challenge. So what I'm going to do is I will keep filling out the other goal challenge just so I know how many of the goals I've actually finished. But one, I have new goals that I'd like to work on, and two, there are some goals that I just don't think I'm going to have the time to finish, which means that I would want to work on them next year. So I'm just going to have sort of two goal challenges going at once, overlapping, until the end of 2017, at which point I will switch completely to this particular goal challenge. And what I will do is, and actually I'm going to show you in my brand new bullet journal, because I have already done this. So what I will do for the time being is I will continue to refer to this goal page. I have my September through December goals. So these were any of the goals from my 52 goals in 52 weeks that are outstanding, so things I haven't yet finished. And I will do a similar thing with my 101 and 1001, where I will make a spread so that I can kind of see the ones that I want to work on currently. However, I'm going to wait until sometime in September before I decide which goals in this new goal challenge I want to focus on and see if I can finish any of these other goals. So like I said, there's going to definitely be some overlap, but I think that this is going to be good because I have some things on here that I have a feeling I'm not going to get to this year, but I would like to do them, so I'm going to just transfer them to the new goal challenge. So I hope that explanation was clear. I'm sure that if you search online, there are websites that explain the 101 and 1001. I actually first learned about it from one of my best friends, and so since then, I haven't ever looked back at the websites. I've just kind of done my own thing. But the main goal is that you have 101 goals that you want to work on in any areas of your life, and you give yourself 1001 days in which to complete as many of them as you can. And like I said, I have never actually completed all 101 goals. It's a pretty lofty ambition, but I always feel much better with however many I am able to complete. It's usually more than I would have done if I hadn't done a goal challenge like this. So if you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below in the comments section. And if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and or subscribing to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.